first of all, thank you for having me. My name is Todd Trayor. I'm a sergeant for San Jose Police. I've been on the department for 20 years in September, which is a big deal to me. I know I'm supposed to answer these questions. I just want to give you a little bit about me so you know I'm invested here. And that is, I was adopted before birth, and I've lived in San Jose my whole life. And I went to public schools, and I married a girl from high school. She still likes me. Father John Pettigo, I don't know if he's here today. He baptized me at St. Julie's Church. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about that, but I will, as I know him very well. And I think I have a different perspective than a lot of people when it comes to police officers, because when I was a kid, the first lesson I learned about police was I was in the back of my dad's pickup truck, because back then you didn't have to wear seatbelts or anything like that. And I remember driving down the street, and my father was driving down the street, and we drove by a police officer, and I said the words, "I smell bacon," which was very common for an 8-year-old to say at that time. And what happened to me is illegal now, but I learned a lesson from my dad, without him saying a word, that police are to be respected in our community. And that was my first experience with really addressing how law enforcement should be looked at in my eyes. So I grew up, believe it or not, and I became a young guy, and I was at school here and in college, and I went to a lot of classes at San Jose State about a lot of the things that you saw up on the board. Very familiar tones to me of classes I've taken at San Jose State for a criminal justice degree. And now I'm fortunate to be on this department, and they're putting me in a position where I get to work a lot more with community members. A secret part of my job that even my coworkers don't know is that I meet with homeless people, I meet with prostitutes, I meet with runaways, I meet with, hypothetically, your neighbor who's addicted to drugs, and I come up with plans to try and help people with a lot of people who are in this room. So it's really neat to be here tonight. I can tell you the questions you have are the questions that are being posed to people all over this country. And they're powerful questions. I don't have the answer for them. I can't tell you today that I am that one person that's going to make everything the way you want it or the way the police want it. But there's no better way for us to find a better solution than to find a balance and to be in a room like this today. And to be able to talk about those things and not be angry at each other or pushing each other or fighting. We'll never solve it that way. Right? But this is a great way for us to address a lot of these concerns. I'm part of a community advisory board. I'm a facilitator. I'm kind of the guy that goes and gets water and stuff like that, right? That's okay, because I get to sit in, I get to be part of it. And what that is a group of about 17 people that the chief of police have chosen to represent our community. Not necessarily a group, but community. Could be a group, could be a religion, could be anything. And the chief of police will meet with all the chiefs actually and the community advisory board to talk to maybe even some of you. I don't recognize any CAB members here today, but it's just a chance for us to get feedback and give feedback on very important issues. Racial profiling has come up for sure, body-worn cameras, all sorts of different issues, and even officer-involved shootings that we have. Every officer-involved shooting, as long as I have been a CAB member, has involved the chief of police and the chiefs that are here even, meeting with the community to hear what the feedback is, and sometimes it's things I've never even thought of, which is the beauty of it all, right? Because there isn't one person that can think of everything. But when you have this group of people who meet, and we all meet and discuss things, concerns, especially big concerns, and then we hear about really the details behind those concerns, you can imagine how powerful those meetings are. And they can be pretty intense too, right? Because not everybody's going to agree. I just got the question, so I know I'm supposed to answer some of these things. How racial profiling affects me personally is I have teams of officers that work with me. A lot of people are here. I think I've worked with every cop you see here. And I know what their day is like. Their day is different. When somebody gets stopped for whatever reason, tail light out, no license plate, there's a lot more questions that are asked to the police than there were before, for sure. And I've been a cop for 20 years. So 20 years ago, it just wasn't that big of a deal. People got pulled over, we would explain what was going on. It didn't seem like that big of a deal. But things are different now. The community is different, right? And the answer is we have to be transparent as officers to you. So when you get pulled over, or your family member gets pulled over, there shouldn't be a question why once it's explained to you. You might not know why when you first get pulled over, right? If you were driving too fast or whatnot. But if you feel like it's racial profiling, then there are methodologies. And I worked internal affairs. I worked it for 2.5 years, and and that wasn't that long ago for me. So I worked with Judge Cordell and the chiefs on many big issues, I think. And so I think I get it, and I hope I can represent to my group and anyone else who wants to talk to me about some of those issues and where we are today versus where we were before, and where we're going to be in the future. I think it's going to be in a place that we will be in agreement on, I hope. Anyway, thank you for your time.